a morning Dr. Nick moment. You know, hey everybody! It's Dr. Nick! Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to our panel and welcome to MAGFest 11. How many of you guys have been here since yesterday?
Thank you for waking up this early because we know what that means in MAGFest.
Yes, 11:30 in the morning is extremely early, so thank you guys very much for coming and hanging out with us this morning. So, we got a couple things we're going to do this morning. We have a brand new top 10 we're going to debut here, which is cool. It was done entirely by Nick. Usually top 10s are, like, I have some sort of something in it, but I literally watched it for the first time last night.
You're already scared off, Brian?
No, I'm paranoid.
We're going to start off with that, start off with a top 10. World exclusive at MAGFest 11! Yeah! Did I already say what it was?
No.
It is the top 10 snow levels in video games. Oh. It's the winter months, it's time, so let's get into this thing. If I can find my mouse. There it is. There we go. Computer is.
Hey, MAGFest, how's it going? Hey, I'm not here, but before we start, I just wanted to say one thing really quickly. Craig, Chad, Brian, Sam, you suck.
What?
There's just something about levels involving water that makes many a gamer go, ugh. In fact, we've actually given you the 10 worst. But once the winter months roll in and that water turns to solid form, you've got yourself an entirely new, somewhat more tolerable trope of video game design, commonly referred to as the snow level. The 10 you see here, despite their chilly appearances, actually warm our hearts. Hey, I'm Nervous Nick for ScrewAttack's Top 10 Snow Levels.
Number 10.
New intro. Number 10.
Ask any gamer which Mario Kart is the best, and if they're blind to my nostalgia like I am, they'll tell you Mario Kart 64. This kart racing classic brought us two winter wonderlands with Sherbet Land and Frappe Snowland. But let's be honest here, that snowman minefield, nah, everybody hates that about Frappe Snowland. And besides, Sherbet Land has penguins. A cave of penguins. Careening around corners, dodging flightless birds made you feel like a pro by the time you came out the other side of that cave. Much more so than avoiding immobile snow people. There's a reason Sherbet Land made a return for Mario Kart Wii.
Number 9.
And speaking of feeling like a pro, driving past penguins just can't compare to the stuff you do in World 4 of Super Mario Bros. 2. Let me just describe what happens in chronological order. First, you pull a rocket ship out of the ground. That's it. I can just stop right there. World 4 be plenty justified for number 9. But then you go into Matrix Dodge and Onslaught of bees armed with forks. Doesn't stop there. No. Another rocket ship out of the ground, and there are now whales with vegetables growing out of their backs. Super Mario Bros. 2. World 4. Next.
Number 8.
Where this basic Windows 3.1 freeware takes place, but the skid-free mountain is a pretty interesting place. Step back for a second. Step way, way back. What in the holy crap is going on? You've got walking trees, peeing dogs, skiers getting flattened, and two man-eating yetis at the bottom. We don't know where this place is or what it's even called, but the whole game is a snow level. A snow level where in the early 90s, all of us have killed some time. And a few skiers.
Anybody play Ski Free?
Yeah! Leave it to Sonic the Hedgehog to start a level with a bang. In Sonic 3, the 5th zone starts off like, oh my gosh, I'm snowboarding! Snowboards, yeah! Soaring through the slopes and slaloms, there's nothing that can stop you now except for that wall of ice. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ice Cap Zone. All the swinging platforms, robot penguins, iceberg surfing, and some of the best music in all of Sonic history.
Number 6.
Anybody know where we're going on this one?
Oh!
Yeah! Anybody?
MNT2 for NES, as you may know, was a port of the 1989 arcade classic, but it was inferior in every single way due to technological restrictions. To compensate, Konami opted to give gamers 2 levels the arcade version never got. A really long and annoying dojo level, and of course, a snow level. Scene 3 featured the worst hailstorm you can possibly imagine, foot soldiers who have successfully weaponized snowballs, and robot snowmen with heat-seeking missiles. What that guy was that it acted like an extra subplot of the Turtles' adventure, which was exclusive to the NES, by the way, in which you save New York from this massive snowstorm. And how do you do it? By fighting a polar bear greaser at the end. How else? Mario's first foray into the third dimension brought us to 2 wintry worlds, but only one of them had sliding penguins, mama penguins, baby penguins, fake baby penguins, and real baby penguins that you can throw off of a cliff. This is the location for doing the Green Demon Challenge. Activate the chasing 1-up, get all 8 red coins and the star before the mushroom gets you. Over a decade and a half later, it's one of the best reasons to revisit the mountain.
Number 4.
Oh, but Mario 64 doesn't know crap about mountains compared to the Elder Scrolls. And I'm not talking about that mountain. Keep moving. Bingo. The almighty Throne of the World.
I feel we got
The trek to Skyrim's tallest mountain is not a short one. 7,000 steps separate the rest of the land from High Hrothgar, where the Greybeards reside, and even then, you still aren't anywhere near the peak. Fight through the harsh winds and the aggressive wildlife, and you find yourself standing in the presence of the dragons atop the highest point, not just in Skyrim, but in all of Tamriel. That's right, chilling out with dragons. And yet, I would still sooner pick a fight with a dragon than I would with a Greybeard.
Nick will sometimes let footage just go and go and go and go. It's funny.
Not even Mega Man X, one of the Super Nintendo's greatest games, is immune to the snow level syndrome. Early in the Chill Penguin stage, you get the coolest, most useful upgrade in the entire game, the dash. Coolest, that is, if you don't count the Hadouken, obviously. It's like going skiing everywhere you go. And how fitting is it that you got it on the snow level? And of course, there's that giant robot suit that you can commandeer to make everything explode with a single punch. Apparently penguins are just the thing to put in all ice and snow levels, because of all the penguins you've already seen in the levels on this list, there is none more slick, more awesome, or more deadly than the one that awaits you beyond this door. Chill Penguin breathes out ice sculptures of himself and hangs on a hook from the ceiling while he calls in a blizzard from absolutely nowhere. Plus, when you beat him, he gives you a shotgun that shoots balls of ice so you can take the snow to every level. Just awesome.
Number 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Don't want to do this, Freeze.
You don't have to play Batman Arkham City for too long before you're tasked with finding the coolest point in town, and you all know exactly who that leads you to. Victor Freeze. After you're forced to help him get his suit and freeze ray back, of course there's only one thing that's about to happen. An all-out battle with one of the game's most powerful adversaries. Mr. Freeze at his most powerful forces you to think, to get creative. This guy learns from every hit he takes and eliminates every method of attacking you use on him. Surprise him from the floor vents below? Nuh-uh, not happening again. For once, Batman is the one in the most danger. For this reason, it was one of the most memorable boss battles in the entire game. There's only one snow level that can top any of those, but before we get there, let's do a recap. Number 10, Sherbet Land. Number 9, World 4 from Mario 2. Number 8, Ski Free Mountain. Number 7, Ice Cap Zone. Number 6, the NES exclusive Scene 3. Number 5, Cool Cool Mountain. Number 4, the Throne of the World. Number 3, Chill Penguin Stage. And number 2, the battle against Mr. Freeze.
It's
Real quick, any guesses at number 1? What do we got? Anyone else? Any other number 1 suggestions? By the way, has anybody noticed the voice of this in the top 10s?
John St. John.
It's the guy back there, yep.
Thank you very much, John. There you go.
number 1.
The first level is always one of the most important in an entire game, if not the most important. That's why Green Hill Zone or World 1-1 are so ingrained in the back of our minds. It's a little gutsy to put a snow level as the beginning of a game, but in Star Wars Shadows of the Empire...
Oh!
You guys forgot about that one, didn't you?
Piloting a snow speeder with the actual orchestral soundtrack hyping you up. You join the fight against the Empire, taking out drones, AT-STs, and oh my gosh, I get to tie up the AT-AT lobbies, that's like the movie! Not only does it strike up memories of the films, but just tying up the AT-ATs in and of itself is a really cool way to take down an enemy. Think for a moment just how cool that is to do it in a video game. So many other developers would probably just have you shoot a weak spot when it's exposed, but actually tripping up an enemy to take them down is so much more exhilarating. Because of this war in the winter, the Battle of Hoth is what we all think of first when we think Shadows of the Empire.
All right, cool. There you go. There's
Now that we've got our move lighting.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, cool. Well, great job, Nick. Wish you were here. Sucker. All right. Okay, so we figured right now we just kind of give you guys an opportunity to do some. We only have an hour with you guys, and we have a couple things at the end of the show we want to, at the end of the panel we want to do. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions or Q&A, we figured we'd open up the floor. So if you guys would like to ask questions, feel free to form a line down the center of the line thing. If not, we'll continue to talk about nothing.
So you want to do lines then? So
what?
You want to do lines instead of just calling people?
Okay, we'll just call people, whatever.
You first though.
Yeah.
Because he got up.
He did.
What's up?
Team Yoshi.
Alright. I like him already.
Alright.
Where's your green?
Oh.
He's in costume.
Okay.
It's inside me. I have to pull off this layer.
Right.
I would do that at night though.
Okay.
Yeah, so how was your trip to Japan? Like, tell us about that.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Whoever went.
Cool.
It was awesome.
It was us three, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And not Sam.
I
I
don't go anywhere.
Introduce ourselves properly. Hi, I'm Craig.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Sam.
All right. Yeah. So Japan was cool. It's definitely. Anybody here been to Japan before? Okay. So when people say Japan is another world, it really is another world. Like it is so not here. Just.
You get two different perspectives here.
Well, okay.
No,
So my whole thing with Japan is the people are incredibly nice. And that may be because I don't know what they're saying, and they could be like talking all sorts of mad shit about me, but they're really nice. Like Americans have this stereotype of being like rude and considerate and jerky and like, you know, little dicks to their parents and stuff. And you don't see that over there. And people are like really polite. Like when you go on a subway, the right side is for walking, the left side is for walking fast.
Escalator.
Yeah, escalators. Yeah. You know, so like they actually follow that. Where in the States, like you'll see a guy like sitting on a cross, you know, like whatever, just taking up as much space as you want, you know. So it's just small little things like that make the culture so much.
Yeah, I mean definitely the politeness and like everybody like pretty much like they treat their jobs like religion pretty much. Like whatever you do, like you put your 100% into it no matter what, regardless. Like if it's cleaning bathrooms, you're like, I'm gonna be the fucking best at cleaning bathrooms. You know, so like everything is just so clean and nice and wonderful. And I knew I was back in America because we got off the plane and there was some mom just screaming at her kids, and I realized I hadn't heard anyone yelling at anyone for a week. And then I was like, and then I walk into the bathroom and there's just like piss all over the floor, and I'm like, good to be home. You know, like,
Oh, Los Angeles, we missed you.
yeah. But no, Japan was awesome, man. I'm a big fan of Japanese culture, so I had a blast, and I could go on about this for too long, so I won't. But the arcades were
hour-long
awesome.
Talking about Japan.
Yeah. The arcades were awesome.
Did you bring the table flipping game?
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely, we did.
Yeah, we played for those who don't know, it's this awesome table flipping game where you get to pick all these different scenarios, which means, so like, say you're this disgruntled man who comes home and just sits down at the dinner table, and your kids are all arguing, your daughter's on her cell phone, and the wife starts nagging you. So then what you do is you slam this table controller to build your meter, and like, while you're slamming it, all the other characters like look at you like, oh shit, he's getting pissed, and then you just flip the table, and then everything goes into bullet time, and shit like starts flying off, and for some reason shit starts exploding, and your daughter flies through a window. It's like, it's awesome. You can also do it at like a wedding. That was fun too. Like be the really pissed off bride, and like all the guests are watching as you just freak the fuck out.
And that cake goes everywhere.
Yeah, awesome.
So
Can I give each of you a high five?
sure.
Especially you, Jen.
Chad wins everything.
I appreciate your support on Team UFC.
Yeah, Brian, do you have any thoughts on Japan?
So yeah, the game centers were awesome, but we found the coolest sushi place.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Off like this little back road in not Akihabara.
Shibuya.
In Shibuya. Because you guys know like the convention, the belt sushi, where like all comes around, like rotates through the restaurant. We went to this place where they gave you a number, you sat at a counter, and every spot at this counter had a touchpad where you would place your order for individual rolls.
It's like having the Wii U right in front of you.
Yeah. Like a Wii tablet or sushi. You place your order, and then your food would just like float out.
Yeah.
Like there were like these three like tracks, that little like sushi train would just come to you.
And it would just know where you were and would just
Yeah.
stop. And then you just
Like just from the kitchen, it was like magic sushi just appearing.
plus nigami, which is like the 2 slices of meat over rice, was 100 yen, which is like $1.25. So we're just like, holy shit!
Oh, yeah.
We were just going. That's like the only thing in Japan that was cheaper. So we had a blast, and you could order drinks from there too. So that was crazy.
It was a good time. Japan is very neat. If anybody ever gets the opportunity to go, like, you only live once, so do it. YOLO! Okay.
Oh God!
Just so you know, I heard that for the first time the other day. Like,
What?
I know. Apparently, I'm way behind the curve because I try to avoid like all that trendy internet, like, you know, stuff, right? So,
You didn't hear about it in like the super sad but ironic news story about the dude who's like, just drank a 5th and now I'm driving YOLO, and then died. And they had the text, it was like seriously like minutes before that he texted or put it up on Twitter or something like that. And yeah, and it was like, YOLO, you only live once.
So I didn't hear that. Thank you.
It's
Thank
funny,
you for
but
making me
sad.
sad. Yeah, so anyways, definitely go to Tokyo, Japan. Hey, what's up? Oh, just talking. We're good. We actually have
We already had it set up.
We're already set.
Somebody had hidden one under here, we're good.
We're cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we actually showed a video.
Well, thanks. These guys were helping get us set up. So.
Awesome. Big round of applause for this guy.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Cool. Where were we?
YOLO.
Yeah, we're up. Just go to Japan. Just
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool.
What's you?
All right. Anybody else have a question? Just raise your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be shy.
Right there.
To go back to the Japan thing, I saw you guys put the video of different snacks and things that you
Yeah.
tried. What was the best? What was the worst?
Best Don Tacos.
Yes, Don Tacos for sure. I actually have a picture of, like, in the video really quick, it was edited, like, there's this bag of Don Taco, which
Oh, my face.
I used it as my desktop on my computer for a long time. But yeah, Don Taco was awesome.
Awesome.
Really good stuff. It's like a nacho cheese Dorito, just like almost more intense, I
Yeah.
would say. It tastes like salsa.
Yeah, it was great. The worst thing.
I know. No.
Hands down. Well, no, we strongly differ on the worst thing. The worst thing for me were they were like these like soggy bread circles that like, but they were kind of rubbery. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was disgusting. How I ended up describing the flavor, it was like some genius Japanese business move where they made a bunch of different food products, and then they had like, you know, I have this genius idea, we'll make another product. We'll just take all of the shit that's left over in all of the barrels, scrape it together, melt it down, and just soak it in this bread thing, and then sell it. That's how I describe the taste. So that was by far the worst.
I have the video here. Yep, here, I can tell you exactly what's on the video. There it is, right there. Here, let's watch it.
It's like a cookie tray.
Yeah, but cookies are soft. All right, here's what we'll do. We'll try it both at the same time. All right. On the bag, yeah, it looks like some sort of like honey dip or something.
You know, it can be honeycomb.
You know, like.
Oh, that does not smell good at all.
Oh my!
I know, it's so
Oh, that is a horrible smell. You can still smell it.
Go ahead.
Oh God.
It's like somebody took a bunch of leftover stuff and it's soaked.
Okay, real quick. Chad's description of this upcoming is the most accurate description to anything that has ever been said in the history of life. Okay? So, just listen.
It's a bread.
Oh.
And then
Oh, tell me about it.
it's like somebody took, I don't know, like leftover flavors, like say this company, whatever they are, that something 11, just had like a bunch of leftover like waste, like the stuff at the bottom of the barrel that gets stuck there, like from their other food that they made, and just like kind of scraped it all off, melted it down, and then soaked it into a piece of bread. That's so my favorite part of this video when Greg just walks by in the background.
It was so bad. That was so gross. Yeah, that was really not enjoyable at all.
But those panda cookies were.
But the panda cookies, yeah. So that was good. So yeah, there's such a wide variety. And for me, like everything in Japan tastes like soy. Like,
oh God, don't even get me started.
Like there's two flavors that are made in Japan. There is soy and coffee, and that's it. Like,
I swear to God.
Tommy Lee Jones coffee.
This guy, we get to Japan and he's like, let's go to McDonald's, and I'm like, God, man.
Dude, don't even get me started on McDonald's. All right, McDonald's. Let's say you go to McDonald's, you get a chicken sandwich here in the States, which I got in Japan, right? So in the States, you get this nice big plump breast of chicken, it's white meat. It's like, yes, I'm gonna eat this fried thing. It's gonna be delicious. Over there, like, I think they distribute all the good meat to the United States and all the shitty meat to Japan.
Oh my God.
It was like back meat. It was like back fat. Just, oh, so disgusting. Oh.
It was fine.
It was horrible.
It was.
So I'm the ignorant American. That's me. Hey. Any other questions about life and stuff?
Anything.
How are your babies, the two? Are they?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Are they already competing?
not yet, but
Well,
soon.
they had their first Street Fighter match last week. No?
Yeah. Get ready, because Kira's gonna be a badass after Street Fighter. No, they're great. That's my daughter. For those who don't know, Greg and I both recently had daughters. My daughters, yeah. Thank you. It wasn't like a difficult thing to make, you know. But no, it's been great. It's really cool. It's very tiring and all that, but it's very rewarding. Like she learns how to wave and stuff. So, heartwarming moment. But yeah, no, it's been really cool.
Kinsey's 9 months old, and she just turned 9 months. I guess you can turn 9 months. Like, I don't know, you like celebrate those like things.
I'm becoming 9 months. Like,
it's funny, like, as like a parent, you're like, it's really weird because you celebrate the tiniest little things. I mean, and does anybody here have kids in here? Like anybody? Okay, so there's a very small amount, right? This is just, for everybody else who would like to have a child. People told me this all the time going into it, and they were like, just enjoy the time you have free now before the baby comes. And like, truer words have never been spoken. Like, Chad's description was 1, and that's number 2. Like, that's the most important thing in life, is enjoy your free time now, because you will not have any when baby comes, ever. Trust me. Yeah.
So Sam, you enjoyed that?
So Sam, what's going on down there?
Not having kids is completely awesome. I've got to say, it's probably one of the best things in the world. I still play video games like 12 hours a day. I don't really care about things that much. I go to work and then I go home and do whatever I feel like doing. And also, besides them having heartwarming daughter tales and stuff, here in like, I don't know, a year and a half, I can just teach them how to curse, so. Yeah, I get the best of both worlds.
That's Uncle Sam!
Yeah, exactly. Uncle Sam. Don't repeat the things that Uncle Sam tells you. They're very bad.
Anybody else got anything? What do we got over here?
You had a question about Death Battle?
Yeah.
All right.
Death Battle! I know you guys get a lot of requests for like fights or whatever, but I was wondering like, because you probably have like your own process, like how you come up with fights that you want to showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Like exactly how many of your battles have been like, okay, a lot of people have requested this one, let's do this, instead of you going about your own way and it's like, we're going to do this and that.
Honestly, the majority of them have been fan requested. Death battles, like we've seen, like a lot of people like, I want to do this, like we want to see this versus this versus this. So we see a lot of that, and we get so many suggestions. We then do the ones that we think would make a good fight. So honestly, most of our death battles have been. It's the ones, the goofy ones, are the ones where we're just like, let's do this, like Starscream versus Rainbow Dash. That was a lunch conversation that then actually turned into a death battle because we were like, initially we were like, we're not gonna do it. Like, haha, that's a funny concept because it's like the Hasbro girl versus boy toys, but like, it's gonna be like Starscream going. done. You know, but then we looked up what Rainbow Dash could do, and holy shit. And she's only gotten more powerful since. Apparently now she can drop a nuke. So, yeah. But so stuff like that, the goofy ones like Yoshi versus Riptor, I really pushed for it. I really wanted to do that. But you know, mostly we try and just like, it's mainly like, we look through all the suggestions, and if we really like a suggestion, we're like, that would make a good fight, then we go with that, so.
Yeah, the big thing for sure, and Chad and Ben are the main driving forces behind Death Battle, but like, I don't think people realize, like, they look for fun fights that they like to see, but they look for fights that I think will be entertaining as well.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. And then they go to ultra nerd mode and know everything about everything ever about both characters, and it's disgusting. So.
Yeah, it wastes a lot of lunch talks. Like that's pretty much a lot of our lunches go to talking about the next, like, oh, what are we gonna do about this and stuff.
Yeah, and like Craig will just sit there and just like nerds.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's watch the views pile up.
well, just a little, you know, Ben's desk is right next to mine, right? So I'm sitting there, and then Chad will come in, and then like for Superman vs. Goku, like did you guys see like the behind the scenes of like the talk that Ben and Chad had about the speed of Goku, right? It's the most ridiculous, like last night, yesterday, we were talking to the guys from Extra Credits. You guys familiar with Extra Credits? Great web show. They're really, really great web show. We just put their stuff on the site all the time. They were like, so what have you been up to? And Chad goes, well, the other day we calculated the speed of Goku, and he like went into this like long equation for like 10 minutes.
With James?
Yeah. And he was just sitting there just like,
Yeah. It was like, well, what we did is we compared Goku's height because we know that he's like 5'7". We laid him against the, you know, where he positioned to Snake Way. We could tell how the diameter, the width of his spike, and then we could count up how many spikes were in a curve because he flew over Snake Way and it has a bunch of curves in it. So that's how we could find out how long the curves were and then remove them from Snake Way so that we could find the exact distance that he traveled in 28 hours. And yeah, because Snake Way in its entirety we found out was over, yeah. See, exactly. Just get ready. It's going to be ridiculous. So.
Just a quick question for whoever. Can we get the lights up a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Whoever's doing the light?
I don't know. Some guy just walks in every now and then and just like, you're here now.
Cool. What's up, man?
Alright, I didn't want to break the tension, but since he already asked about it,
I'll
talk to you about it a little bit. What's the update on Goku versus Superman?
Okay.
Oh, I have one for you, Chad. What's up? But I can't talk about it right now.
Okay.
So, Chad, talk.
Okay. So, just quick background. I put up a blog post just the other day on ScrewAttack about it. How Death Battle works is it's Ben and I in the office. You know, we do the like researching, scripting, writing, and voicing and all that stuff, and the editing. But recently, ever since Zelda vs. Peach, we contracted an animator because it gives us more time to work on more Death Battles. You know, and also it's a pain in the ass for Ben to animate. So, and also the guy we got is phenomenally better than we could ever be, and it really took the show to the next level. So Jordan Lang is our animator, but he lives, what state? Seattle. So,
Seattle State.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so Lang lives in Seattle, which can make the communication hard, especially because he's an artist. So that, you know, he's got that stereotype, but it's like, how long is this going to take? And he's like, oh, it'll be done there, but it has no concept of actual time to complete. So like, you know, this is the biggest Death Battle we've ever done, so we took, you know, a little extra time to get it done, and you know, initially he was like, yeah, we can do this, I can get it done in that. For those who don't know this, he's building it in 3D, and you guys are actually going to get a little bit of a preview later on. He's building it in 3D. He has built Metropolis in 3D. Wow. So, which again, that was one thing later on, it's like, maybe you didn't need to build all of Metropolis, because about 90% of our audience will be like, hey, it's the Daily Planet, and nothing else. So like, but so because of that, it's taken longer, and what we ended up getting to meet the 21st, he had to rush some stuff at the end, and then we were just like, that's not what you guys deserve. You know, like you've been waiting for a while for this fight, we'd rather have you guys wait just a little bit longer and get a really badass fight than us put up something that got rushed at the end. So very, very unbelievably soon, and the only reason I'm not saying a date is because the last thing in the world I want is to give you guys another date, and then for some weird reason to happen, and then it not be met, and then the internet just start flipping tables and being super pissed. Oh my God, some of the comments we've gotten, by the way. But yeah, so very unbelievably.
If you feel any better, I have been first online to defend y'all every single time.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
The conspiracy theories are hilarious. Like, that people say and they're mad. Like, they don't even know who won, but we're wrong. You know, like, it's like
just perusing the board alone has been a very hilarious episode.
Oh yeah, there's tons of entertainment. That's my favorite part about Death Battle, man. Comments. Like, after we release a Death Battle, then it's just entertainment time, as I'm just like, let's do this. My favorite ones are like, I don't know anything about this guy, but that was wrong. This person should have won. Like, you literally just said you don't know anything about the other person in the beginning of your post, and you think that's a good argument?
My personal one is the one that they keep, like, well, in this one he did this, and this one he did. Fucker, that's a movie. That doesn't even count.
Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, so very soon on Goku vs. Superman, guys. Like, I mean, unbelievably soon, but I'm just not saying a date, just in case something weird happens. I don't want to disappoint you all.
weird things happen all the time. Like, that's the one thing we've learned through this process is that, like, nobody is more disappointed about it not airing on the 21st.
Oh my God.
Than us.
Yes.
Like, I wish, like, I've done a few Evil Craig videos, right? Evil Craig video has shown up several times at the office. over Goku vs. Superman.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so what else we got?
Pardon me if we answered this like before, like anywhere else.
It's all good.
So I was just wondering, like, what was the first video game you guys ever played, and how do you think it affected your taste?
You know what? We've never, I mean,
I
don't know if we've ever gotten that question. You'd think it would have been asked.
Yeah, in 7 years.
First video game ever.
I can tell you, first one I played was Intellivision. My parents had an Intellivision, and I remember even as a kid thinking that the controller wasn't good. I was like, this doesn't work very well. Yeah.
Why am I playing on a phone? Like,
well,
I guess phones didn't even look like that back then.
Yeah. For those who don't know, like, the Intellivision had like a keypad on it, like 139 keypad, and then had a circular disc at the top of it, which was supposed to be like a D-pad without the pad or whatever. And so it didn't work very well, but it was, you know, it was what you had at the time, and you know, so that was. How did it affect my style? It didn't at all. the NES is kind of what shaped me for sure, you know, and that was first games I played there were Mario, Tetris.
The first game memory I have is actually it's Spades on DOS. This is what my parents had at the time.
Solitaire, you know?
Yes. I was going to say Spain's really a
No, this was
game.
MS DOS. We're talking like Windows 3.1 yet. I mean, you know, it's Commander Keen, it's Overkill, it's Wolfenstein 3D. It's all that old, good DOS that you can find on GOG these days.
Yeah. You know what, actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you got me thinking. Before the Intellivision, I actually, you know, people don't fancy me as a PC gamer, but I'm old school, baby.
Oh yeah?
Floppy disk.
That's what I was about to go with.
Outrun and Wheel of Fortune, those were my jams.
Nice. I remember distinctly back, and this must have been, I was at least younger than 5. And I remember my dad had his computer, and I don't know if it was a Commodore 64 or whatever, but the people who are younger, way back in the day, we had these discs that were about that big, and then they actually flopped. That's why they were called floppy disks. And they had a little, like, and they were made out of this thin plastic, and there's a little hole cut out of it where the actual inside was like a disc of, you know, data reading stuff. That's my technical term. And it had a little window, and so that's how it would read. Anyway, so I had, there's this floppy disk, like, Olympics game. And I think that was probably the first game I ever played. It was some just really crappy Olympics, and I would love to actually see it. I have no idea what it was called, but that would really take me back. But definitely like, the first one that, like, I mean, like, really stood out to me and, like, affected that when I was like, video games are amazing, was I can still remember the Christmas when my brother got his NES Duck Hunt Split console. You know, it's just this big.
There you go.
Now I just feel old.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that thing. I'll take it back. I saw John St. John nodding to that. He was like, I remember.
I appreciate the domain, oldcomputers.net. That's amazing.
Anyway, but yeah, definitely, I mean, NES, the first time I played, you know, Super Mario Brothers was just crazy. You know, those I was just like, this is awesome. And then duck hunt, I was like, I can shoot ducks. You know, and of course then that's when we're introduced to our first frustration in video gaming, which is that fucking dog. So.
Sam?
It must have been Commodore 64. I'm pretty sure it was Joust, but I mean, I had no major impact in what I did in gaming. Really, I think the first game that had an impact would have been the first Warcraft, because I remember I was visiting my uncle and he had a DOS-based PC, and I couldn't figure out how to boot it up. And like I spent all day trying to figure it out, and then finally got it, and just like Warcraft became an addiction. And then I remember going home, and that was like the thing that made me really like video games. And then tell my parents like, hey, you know, because we'd always had them around the house, but it was never, I was just a kid who liked games, I wasn't a gamer yet. And then we got home and my dad was like, oh, well, how about, you know, what do you want to play? And I was like, I don't know. And they were like, do you want an NES? And I was like, no, I want something on the computer. And so my dad sat me down and pretty much made me play the entire Marathon series for Bungie.
Nice!
And I was like, and I think that's why I'm just such a diehard like PC gamer. I don't really, like I don't own consoles very much. I don't go buy them. I have one because I have to right now. But besides that, I just play a PC.
I have to.
I just get this picture of like your dad sitting you down like, you're gonna play this.
Okay, my dad, another random Sam stories. My dad, like, I remember one of the first things, because I watched Star Trek with him one day, and he was like, oh, do you like the concept behind it? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay. And I was 8, I remember this. And he sat me down, he's like, we're gonna watch this together. And we watched Akira when I was 8.
Are you serious?
It made no sense at all.
Good lord.
Yeah, exactly. It was cool, there were flashy things.
Yeah. I wanted that motorcycle too. That motorcycle was bad.
And a jacket.
Hell yeah.
Anybody got anything else?
Any other questions? All right, I saw that hand first.
Yeah.
Oh, do we contradict each other?
In the back.
With so much talk about table flipping, I'm just going to say, while we don't have old-timer explosions, there is table flipping going down in the convention hall.
Oh, I heard about that. Is that like for charity or whatever?
Yeah, it's for child's play. You put down money, they'll put like cornflakes, confetti, $1,000 you can actually flip Big Adam if you want to.
Yeah. We got an email and I saw that. It's actually, it's for charity. I thought that was really cool and I'm immediate. Where is it at?
Con Hall, I want to say in the same area as Tabletop.
Okay. Okay. I will
find it with tabletop gaming.
Yeah, tabletop gaming.
How much to like just flip someone's game?
I know, that's what I was about to say. That's a bad place to put it. Can you imagine the confusion? Somebody runs in, like, yeah, charity table and game! And then just like, you know, a bunch of like very into it, you know, RPGers are just like, you know, like, I was about to win!
Anybody else?
Is there a tag team division for the table flipping competition?
It'd be great.
2 questions actually. How do you guys feel about THQ? And what are the names of the songs in the opening of the top 10 and Hard News? Because those songs are awesome, man.
Well, let's tackle the THQ one first. I don't care. Like, honestly, I think it's...
They kind of had it coming. I don't know. I feel a little bad for him because it kind of seems like, what did they do to deserve that? Like,
you draw a tablet thing that they made 50 million and sold 1 million.
Yeah,
right.
It's their fault. You know, like they just made bad decisions.
Well, I know they just had so much stuff in them. Like somebody did something really horrible to like generate that much bad karma. It's like everything hit them at once, and then it kept going. And then like, oh my God, we're probably gonna, you know, like everything's horrible. We're probably gonna have to close. And then some tattoo artist is like, you know what? You use my tattoo, I'm gonna sue you. You know, and it's like, come on, man, stop! Like they're hurting right now. Don't kick them while they're down. Like, and it just keeps going.
So. Vince McMahon wanted his 45 million.
Yeah. I think it's good. Like, I mean, I can't wait. I'll, you know, pop bottles whenever they truly go under. But it's just like they're an archaic company with a bad business model who's failing because they've made crap games for a long time. And I want to say I am excited for Metro Last Light. There's a couple of good games. I mean, Stick of Truth.
Stick of Truth, I'm really excited.
But THQ doesn't have any part in them being good, really. I mean, Obsidian's going to be the reason that Stick of Truth is good. And it's just THQ has a bad business model. That's all. Yeah. They're old, and I mean, what they made most of their money making Nickelodeon and like you know,
and wrestling games back in the day. That's why I have rose-colored glasses. Like WCW or NWO Revenge. Man.
Yeah, but those games were fun and great as a kid, but they actually weren't good.
I said this.
THQ rarely makes good games.
Dude, those games weren't good.
From a technical standpoint, no. Like, I mean,
shut your face.
They were dumb enough to include like coloring that was the exact same coloring as their skin on their outfits.
Doesn't matter.
That is dumb.
Who cares? Like, then you can
make Goldberg naked.
Goldberg.
It's awesome. Naked Goldberg. Maybe that's what childhood Craig wanted, but I thought it was mediocre.
That's what adult Nick wanted last week. I'm just saying.
I've heard of people like, that's an adult Nick. Hi, adult Nick. It's nice to meet you.
I wish we had adult Kid Nick. Like, I bet Kid Nick was hilarious.
Kid Nick. Yeah, no, actually, let's pull back. One thing I've wanted to do forever. Nick made the mistake of bringing in journals he had when he was a kid, because he was like referencing, like he started because I think he was doing like a Pokemon thing. And he's like, I remember I had these journals. He used to write a lot about Pokemon. When he made the mistake of reading stuff that was funny to us, and then we're like, give us those journals. So we have the journals, and I'm trying to wait long enough until like he totally forgets about it. You know, and then we just want to pull the camera out on the spot and just read it. And some of them are hilarious. Like, I think at one point he said that women aren't people.
Keep in mind, third grade.
He talks about how bad women are and how they should all die.
Yeah, so
they're real messed up kids.
And Nick is like the most like kind and just like.
The pig just had a good suggestion. Give it to John.
Yeah, dramatically read it.
Johnson John. Mixed memories.
Pretty girls are icky. Yeah, like whatever.
I think it says something about Nick too, that he just like handed over his childhood journals. He was like, he was like, we'll take these, and Nick was like, fine.
Yeah. Well, like two or 3 months ago, we've had them for like probably a year and a half, and it's just like. They've just kind of been sitting there, and we've been wanting to do something for a long time with them. And like probably 2 or 3 months ago, he was like, "Hey, my mom was asking about those journals. If you guys will have them." Yeah, we got them. Cool. I was like, "Okay, cool." Just want to make sure they're not burnt.
We need to do that. We'll do that soon.
Yeah,
we'll do that soon.
What was the second part of the question?
About the songs for the
top 10. Okay, so the top 10 song is it was an instrumental done by a guy named DJ Britt, B-R-I-T-T. He sent it to me like in 2006, and he was like, "Hey man, I got this song." You know, I was like, "Cool music, I like it." So it's been kind of a theme ever since. And I've never actually answered that question. So I've got all the time. I'm always like, "It's just a song," and I don't know. I've always kind of like to keep it ScrewAttack's thing, you know, because I don't want like popping up in all these things. The Hard News song was an original put together by Glenn Case. Glenn Case was the guy who did the music for The New Adventures of Captain S back in the day on ScrewAttack. And Glenn's done a number of songs for us. So
it's good stuff.
Yeah, he's a rad dude.
Also, speaking of which, I was talking to DJ Cutman. He's starting his own record label.
Yeah.
Like, and so he's been good with that. And so he's doing like official licensing and stuff. And he's like, going to give us a bunch of music to use.
Cool.
So awesome.
Nice. Anybody else got anything?
Any other questions at all? There we go.
What's the song that plays during the
Oh, that is a song done by an old school G1, Mark Marta.
Man.
Yeah, that's old school, like 2008.
We love our community. They make a lot of stuff for us.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah, Mark Marta put that together.
Gamma Prime.
It's just a song we've been using for a long time. Originally, I used a song by Prodigy underneath it a long time ago. And actually, I had to edit side scrollers this week, and it didn't come out good at all.
Oh, and people were raging.
They didn't like it.
What was the audio version?
Yeah, oh yeah, crap. Forgot about that. But yeah, I threw a little of that in there just for my own personal, nod to myself, I guess. Doing side scrollers for 7 years, so. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, we got
stuff to do.
Yeah, we only got about 15 minutes to go. So, is the lights, where are the lights at? Does anybody know where they are at? Yeah, we can get those up.
Yeah, we can get those up. I'm worried that if you're watching this video on ScrewAttack and everything was really dark, I'm sorry for that one guy who turned the lights down.
We worked really hard to get the audio good and everything.
Yeah.
Then they turned the lights on. So, can you stay over the by the lights? We're going to need them to come down again here in a second. Okay, cool. All right, so, Brian, you want to introduce this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, go ahead.
So there's 2 annual things that we do at ScrewAttack. It's kind of end of the year award sort of deal. We did the Saggies, the Shitty Ass Game of the Year Awards, got that wrapped up. But we have yet to do G1 of the Year, which is an award that goes up to the top community member annually. You know, it's the guy who's making great content, he's friendly in the community, he's helping the new guys, he's kind of showing people the way, he's really contributing to the site. And usually that's a community vote, but it's kind of on timing, and we discussed it in the office.
We're gonna do something a little different.
Yeah. We made an executive decision this year. This is something that we've never done before, but we felt it was like, if there was ever a time to do it, like, this is definitely the time to do it for sure. So, I guess, do you want me to do it, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay, cool.
Wait, I don't know, we can probably drag it out a little bit longer.
I know, it's really good right now.
Can I get a drum roll for everybody? Just like a... So this year we made an executive decision, and while we definitely appreciate the community's support and everything they do, there was one clear-cut winner, and we would like to say, Tom the Iron Man.
What?
Would you be our G1 of the Year?
Absolutely!
Hey!
Tom's been on the site since like the dawn of time, and yeah, he just contributed an absolute ton. And, like, even to the point, one of the things we were joking about when we were talking about doing this, we think he actually might have more ScrewAttack videos than we do. Because like sometimes, we've transitioned some stuff, and like sometimes things have gotten lost. And so when we did the new site, we put a lot of stuff up, but some things have just been missing. And every now and then we notice they're missing. And sometimes we'll go to the archive and we're like, it's just gone. And then we're just like, hey Tom, and he's like, I got it, and then just sends it over, like like Mario Party After Dark. Even that's the like
Predator.
Yeah, Predator.
Definitely. Yeah, ScrewAttack there for a long time. So
ScrewAttack's backup archive is in Tom's house.
So we just want to thank you for everything.
Thank you guys.
Being so hardcore, and yeah. There are some distinct honors that are received when you are G1 of the Year. Most notably, you are featured in the ScrewAttack Royal Rumble.
Yes!
So that'll be something that'll happen throughout the year as well. So thank you very much for everything.
Thank you!
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Warm my heart, lift my spirit.
Alright, so we do one more thing we want to show you guys today, and that is the first half of Superman vs. Goku. We are really excited about this. If you're an advanced member on ScrewAttack, you've already seen this, but if you're not, then you're about to have your face melted. Once again, this is only the first half. Do you want to say anything else, Chad?
It's coming very, very, very soon. And yeah, you can see some of the stuff. In this one that he sent over, like, there'll actually be a little bit more to this, I believe, later on. But he actually had built so much of Metropolis, he had to cut some of it out.
What?
So what you see here, this is not even all of what he built. So he's built a lot of stuff. Lane's been working really hard. So.
Okay, so without further ado, here we go.
Oh, look at Ben, he made it all epic.
Yeah.
Hey there!
Hello.
You look pretty strong. Let's fight!
Fight? Well, that's not really what I do.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
You're insane! Fight.
Wow.
I can't move.
So, you're an alien too, huh?
What did you do to me?
Pressure points. Didn't work at first, but my X-ray and microscopic vision let me find your body's weak points. You won't be going anywhere. What is that?
Sensu beam. Want one?
No. I'm ending this. Now. Okay, Blondie, what's going on?
I am Son Goku! And I am a Super Saiyan!
Sorry, Lex.
Well, this might take a while.
Hey, what are you doing? Is that rock hurting you?
Tonight.
There. Okay, let's go.
That's a Goku.
I want to beat you at your best. It's no fun if it's not fair.
Gee, thanks. Next time, watch your blind spot. Deja vu.
Feels like
Powerball and snap! The game's not as fun when you're losing, is it?
Game? You think this is a game? I haven't even begun to play.
That's the first half. All right, so it's gonna be pretty awesome. You can, as you can already, that's like longer than any death battle.
What is it?
Well, that's it.
Smooth music.
Oh yeah, he said he built a menu.
Yeah. All right, let's pull that down. There we go. You can
Sam has to run and go get merchandise set up. So bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.
Yeah, so as you guys can tell, I mean, that's like longer than any death battle we've ever had, and that's the first half of it. It gets more insane. Yeah, just leave it at that.
Wait until you see.
Yeah. So, I think that's about it. I mean, we just want to thank you guys very much for everything. We got some big plans in 2013.
And big plans for tonight.
Yes, yeah, actually, go ahead.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, tonight at midnight, you need to come to our panel because it's myself, Craig, James Rawl, Faker Video Game Nerd, and Brett Vanderberg, formerly of PVC Productions, and we have a crazy fun gaming challenge where you can't talk too much about.
The long and short of it, it is 21 and up, so...
Well, no, they didn't say we had to do that.
I'm going to say that.
Well, that's gonna limit it. Why are we
CYA.
I'm just.
Or there'll be a disclaimer.
What's that?
Or we'll do a disclaimer or something.
I don't know. I've been playing. We've been working on this thing for like longer than any panel we've ever done, and it's really silly. But yes, Chad, go ahead and tell them what.
Anyway, there will be a wheel. The wheel will have certain things that people don't want to do on it, and then say it's me against James. Spin the wheel, lands on the thing that we will do. The loser has to do that when we play a game. So we have a bunch of games spanning everything, all the way to like Shang Fu.
We have
what we do for your entertainment.
Why did you let one of those cartridges live?
They keep getting brought to me. We've destroyed so many, but they just keep getting brought to me.
We need more 10, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, it is adult themed tonight. So, if your parents, if
that's
you're
cool.
comfortable with it, that's fine.
I mean, technically, MAGFest didn't say we had to do 21 up.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But
We'll just do a disclaimer before, and then people who want to leave can leave.
Yes, there'll be adult themes. So, we haven't really done anything like that before, so I figured, other than Mario Party After Dark, so it's kind of the equivalent of that. So, we do want to invite everybody out to SGC, which is happening this summer. We're really excited to bring it back this year. Thank you guys very much for everybody's support and helping bring that back. June 21st through 23rd at the Dallas Hyatt Regency in Dallas, Texas. If you've ever been to Dallas, you've seen the big ball in downtown, the Union Tower.
It's part of the skyline.
It is. That's where we're at. So we got a minute left. We'll wrap it up, guys. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget.
Oh, by the way, we're going to be doing an impromptu autograph session at our merch booth. So when you go downstairs, go into the vendor area, and then basically walk in and then straight on the right. We'll get a bunch of merchandise for sale, of course, and then also we'll just be there to hang out and sign some stuff.
And one more thing. Where's Joe at? Joe. Where's Joe? Joe has a bunch of games. He's trying to sell them because he wants to buy an engagement ring, a wedding ring.
Wait, seriously?
Yes. So if you want to buy his games, they're all really good. So if you want to go over there and like check out a selection, by all means, he's a great long-time G1.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to pick up some good games and help him, you know, with his future life. So, thanks, guys.
I freaked out with this. It might be 21 now. Congrats, Tom. Congrats.
Well, that was unexpected and highly awesome.
You have my number, so let me know if anything's going down. Like, not the ScrewAttack, just something.
Right, absolutely.
All right.
Dude!